Hello, I am Sketchy Duval, and we are gathered here today to honor the life and legacy of a friend, a family member, a fallen sister who was truly loved and truly appreciated while she was here, but she unfortunately sashayed away far too soon. Of course, I am talking about my camera. This is the Canon PowerShot A95, and this was my favorite camera that I've ever owned in my life. She has all these functions here, on the back as well. There's this part. This screen that flips out. Unfortunately, she is broken. She no longer works. And, I know I'm being a little melodramatic about this, but honestly, I am very disappointed and I am sad that this camera is no longer working. I've had many digital cameras throughout my life, and I think this is definitely my favorite one that I've ever had. Also, just as a piece of tech history, it's very upsetting, I think. This camera was released in 2004, and I mean, I've not had this camera since 2004. I've probably only had it for maybe 3 years, so very short time that I've owned this camera. That makes it even more disappointing that it's broken already. But yeah, she's gone. In memory of her, I wanted to honor her legacy with a collection of photos today. So I've gathered up some of my favorite shots that I've taken on this camera, and I wanted to walk you through them as sort of a history of my time with this camera and just honor her spirit. So let's get into it. This first photo is a photo of my mother. Actually, this photo makes me emotional, so maybe I shouldn't have included it, or maybe I shouldn't have started with it. But actually, I think this was the last time I visited my family before I moved to Japan. And so I took this at the Rocky Beach in Michigan this is on Lake Michigan, actually. And my mom loves to go to the beach in the summer and look for beach glass. So when I was visiting my family in the summer, of course, I went on this beach trip so my mom could look for beach glass, and I was just walking around taking pictures. I think this was actually maybe a week or so after I bought the camera, because I actually bought it in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We went to thrift store. Yeah, we went to a thrift store in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and I saw this camera sitting in the glass box at the counter, and it had no price on it. So I was like, oh, how much? And they were like, $2. I was like, really? $2? I was like, well, how much for the bag? Like the camera bag? And they were like, oh, $2 for everything. Okay. So I took the camera for $2. And then, yeah, maybe a week later, we were back down in the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, and we went to the beach, and I took this photo of my mom. My mom does not like to have her picture taken. Even from the back and from a distance like this, she probably wouldn't like it. But this photo makes me emotional, and it is really special to me because I love my mom. So that's the first photo. This was on the same day, also at that Lake Michigan beach area. This was just on a trail in the woods behind the beach, and this was looking down from a bridge into, I guess, the river that flows into Lake Michigan. And I found this tree branch fallen. I guess not tree branch, this entire tree fallen across the river. And I liked this sort of X shape that I captured in this picture with the river crossing and the tree. And then this is completely different. This was taken in Long Beach in California. So at this time, I was actually living in California, and so that's why I was visiting my family from California. I was visiting them in Michigan. And yeah, my boyfriend and I went to the aquarium, the Long Beach Aquarium, and I took this photo as we were leaving the aquarium, I think. So yeah, I just think it's funny seeing photos of Michigan and then photos of California. It could not be more different, really. When I moved to California, it felt like a complete 180-degree spin on my lifestyle and everything. So yeah. And then this photo was also taken in Long Beach. This was actually at the beach. My boyfriend and I went to the beach along with my boyfriend's sister, and we just wanted to take pictures and stuff. So this is my Rubber Motel tote bag. My boyfriend and I had made a fashion brand during quarantine in 2020, and this was one of the products we made. And yeah, I still have it. I still use it all the time. It's really sentimental to me. And it was carrying my boyfriend's Crocs on this day. Okay, here are some photos of my shelves in California. So I had some IKEA shelves, and they were like the cube, just wooden cube display shelves. And I've always loved collecting toys and little knickknacks and stuff. I mean, hello, look behind me, come on. And I would display my things in these shelves, and I had them kind of organized by color or by theme. So this picture here is my pink shelf. So I've got my Gloomy Bear, my Sakura Miku, a little Kirby toy, and then a Sunny Angel, a Pretty Cure, and then some blind box toys. And yeah, it was just kind of cutesy pink theme. I actually don't have any of these anymore except for the Pretty Cure little bear. So I think the rest of them I sold either on Depop or I brought them to a figure store in Little Tokyo before I moved to Japan. Yeah, when I was preparing to move to Japan, I wanted to get rid of a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think the Gloomy Bear I sold on Depop, and then everything else except for the little bear I sold to a figure store in Little Tokyo, Los Angeles. Here's my blue shelf. From left to right, we've got Yuki Nagato from Haruhi Suzumiya, and then we've got a little vintage sheep thing, and sitting on top of that is Miffy. And then a small little Ayanami Rei figure, and then Kanade from Angel Beats. Oh my god. Angel Beats is my favorite anime. I love Angel Beats. I feel like no one knows about Angel Beats and no one talks about it, but I love Angel Beats. Oh my god. I think it's the first anime that I ever completely watched. I have a really hard time finishing any anime, honestly, especially if it's longer than one season. So Angel Beats is kind of perfect for me because it's melancholic and philosophical and cool, CUNT, but also it's only one season, so it's really easy to digest. And yeah, that is a figure of the main character that my boyfriend got me. Unfortunately, her wings broke, so I had to get rid of her before I moved to Japan. I didn't take her with me, and I couldn't sell her because her wings were broken, so I think I just threw her away, unfortunately. And then behind her is Kiki from the Little Twin Stars, and he is one of my favorite Sanrio characters. I love Kiki. I have one right here. This is the little graveyard. I don't know, it reminds me of Corpse Bride, but it's the graveyard Kiki. And then here I have the graveyard Lala as well. They're a set. But I love Kiki. And then I have my Hatsune Miku doll, which I actually bought in Japan. So this picture was taken after I visited Japan for the first time. And I found that Hatsune Miku doll at Mandarake, I think in Ikebukuro, maybe. But I still have her. And I also still have the Kiki plush. And I have the Alice figure on the right, oh my god, I love her. Alice Madness Returns is maybe my all-time favorite video game. So this figure is from the original American McGee's Alice game, and I found her at, I don't remember the name of the store, but I remember it was in Burbank in California. There was like a vintage toy store, vintage, I don't know, but they had a bunch of like pop culture toys and stuff, and I found this Alice figure. She also has the cat, the Cheshire Cat, and that's actually in my next shelf. This one. So yeah, there's Alice again, and the Cheshire Cat is also there. Then there's a little Hirono blind box figure along with my Precious Miseries ragdoll, like ragdoll girl and ragdoll toy, which you can see the ragdoll girl is here. And then in the center is my Silent Hill nurse Living Dead doll, which is another one of my favorite dolls that I own. And then on the right is another blind box character figure. So yeah, those are my 3 shelves. It's kind of like my horror shelf, my blue shelf, and my pink shelf. And then after that, we're in Japan. So this was taken at my first apartment. Well, not at my apartment, but in the first place that I lived. And you could see the mountain in the distance. It was really beautiful. And this picture is taken through the tracks of the Shinkansen. So that cement structure you see framing the image, that's where the bullet train passes on top of, and it's really cool to look at. And yeah, I just thought it was so cool to see the mountains from that view with the sunset and stuff. And this is a park that I went to with my boyfriend, and we went here in May, so the weather was really warm, and yeah, it was just a really nice day for walking around the park and kind of exploring, taking pictures. So of course I thought this was beautiful. And here's a close-up of the lily pads. And then they had some swan boats, and yeah, again, I thought it was beautiful. Just another shot of the lake, and then a shot of the lake and the little bridge that passed over it. And then here, my boyfriend and I left the park, and we were climbing up some stairs. So the park was kind of lower elevation, and then there were some stairs leading up to back to the city, I guess. So as we were standing on the stairs, I stopped and took this picture, and I thought it was really cool how the rice fields were just surrounding this street, this road. And here's the staircase that we were climbing. It was a really cool, not just a staircase, it was a whole thing. I don't know, it was a structure, a climbable structure. And then this was, I think, on our way back home, back to my apartment, we saw this stray cat. Maybe stray, I don't know, maybe it's just an outdoor cat, but yeah, I stopped and took a picture of it. And yeah, here's my shadow on the walk home. I love how long my shadow is. Oh, and over in the corner, over here, you can see the bench, this wooden bench, and it was under a canopy of, it was a wooden canopy, but then leaves had grown on top of it. So in the summer, whenever I walked through there, or whenever I rode my bike through there, I loved to just take a moment to stop and slow down underneath that and feel the relief. And then here, again, this is on my walk home, but this is a reflection of the water. There was a pond, or maybe it was a rice field, I don't really know. But yeah, I just thought it was really beautiful. This kind of lighting, this time of day, is my favorite. Yes, it's twilight, and maybe my love of the movie and book Twilight has something to do with that, but I've just always loved twilight time of day and like the lighting and everything. I know people always talk about golden hour, but I love like just after golden hour and before it's like completely dark out. I love that period of time. Like, what would that be called? Like blue hour or something? I don't know. Twilight, yeah. I love twilight. I went on a lot of walks and riding my bike around. So this next one here, this was on one of my walks. There was a staircase and then there was like a bridge that crossed the road because the road was kind of like a main road. Not a highway, but like a busy road. And this bridge would just cross over it, so you didn't have to wait for a stoplight or something to walk. And there was a cage, like a fenced cage around this bridge, and I just thought it was cool that I could see the moon through this cage. So, of course, I loved the lighting, this blue twilight lighting, and then the beautiful moon just peeking through the cage. And here, this might be the same cage or maybe a different one. Honestly, I don't remember anymore. But again, you can see the mountain in the distance with the sunset, and I just thought it was really beautiful, of course. And I have one more caged photo, but this is in a different place. This is in Utsunomiya. I went to Utsunomiya and I wanted to go to 2nd Street, which is a recycle, like secondhand clothing store. And there's probably a bus or an easier way to get there, but I decided to just walk from the station, which was like, I don't remember exactly, somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, I think, walking. But whatever, it was nice. I put in my music. I was listening to Sibomato. I think that's how you pronounce the name, Sibomato. I don't know. I was listening to their album and just walking. And I thought this was really beautiful. So looking through the fence, you could see where all the leaves had taken over this. I've always kind of loved the look of man-made structures being overtaken by nature, like nature reclaiming its place, you know, like post-apocalyptic kind of vibes, like The Walking Dead or The Last of Us or something like that. So seeing this in real life, I was like, ooh, okay. Here is a selfie that I took with my Canon PowerShot looking into the photo booth camera on my MacBook. And I don't know, I'm like a meta person. Like, I don't know, I think that kind of stuff is so interesting, like meta, whatever. So like looking at myself through a camera into my MacBook camera, looking back at me, and then that image like projected, I don't know, I just think it's, I mean, at this point, we get it, you know, I feel like everyone has kind of done that thing, but I've just always been interested in that. I don't care, like, cameras and my relationship to technology and like growing up on the internet and stuff like that, it's always been like a part of me, because I grew up like with the, not birth of the internet, but kind of like as the internet was really taking hold on the world, I was like growing up with it. So yeah, those kind of themes are just like part of my DNA, so let's move on. So here is a photo that I took at my boyfriend's apartment. This was when he first moved to Japan, and he had like no furniture. So this was his futon on the floor, and what you're seeing here is the light coming through the window behind me, and this is my shadow in front of that light. This image kicked off it kicked off an idea of a photo series that I want to do, but I have yet to finish. Yeah, I guess I won't go into detail about it because I still want to do it, and I want it to be like a gag when I do it. So yeah, this was just the first image that kind of sparked my idea. And then this one here was another part of that idea. This is my Lilac Heaven iPhone 11. Actually, some of these images are edited and some are not. Like this one is not edited, but this one is. So yeah, think most of them are not edited, but some of them are. But yeah, next up is this photo. So again, here, these giant cement pillars, those are the support structure for the Shinkansen. And on this day, I was riding my bike, and out of nowhere, it started raining. So this was taken in July, and that is the rainy season in Japan. Yeah, I was just riding my bike, and it started like downpouring. It wasn't just raining, it was like heavy, heavy rain. So I took cover underneath the Shinkansen tracks. You can see here like the line of where the rain was being blocked. So I just waited there for the rain to pass, because I stopped there, and then I checked the weather on my phone, and I was checking like a live weather map, and it told me the rain would pass in like maybe 10 or 15 minutes or something. So I just waited, and sure enough, the rain passed eventually. So I took this photo as I was waiting there, and here's my backpack in my bike basket as I was waiting for the rain to pass. And then here, this was taken in Chiba, and this is my boyfriend right here. So in Chiba, there's a monorail. So this thing you see here is the track, and the train is like suspended from the track, and it goes along like that. So there's nothing underneath it, it's just like the track is above and the train moves along like that. And so yeah, this is the Chiba monorail, and my boyfriend and I here were waiting for the train to come pick us up. Yeah, I just thought it was really cool. Like, the station is like up in the air, and you have to like go up the stairs to get to it, and then the train comes and it parks on this platform, but then once it leaves the station, it's just suspended. So as you're riding, you get a really cool view of the city and everything, and you can feel the train like swaying. It's like, oh my god, but it's actually really cool and really fun, I think. And then here, this is my boyfriend again, and this must have been at the stop where we got off the train, like off the monorail, so we were heading back down the stairs. And then here is just kind of another twilight shot. I know it's like late twilight, but yeah, I liked how kind of purple the sky was. I liked all the clouds, and then I liked this bright yellow light of the parking space. It contrasted with the purple of the sky. It kind of reminds me of Tumblr, like when I was on Tumblr as like a 14-year-old, and like the photos I would reblog, they kind of looked like this. Yeah, speaking of Tumblr, this photo as well. So these are just my potato chips, and I took a photo of them in front of the vending machine. Yeah, I was being a little like tongue-in-cheek, just like trying to be very Tumblr-esque. It's kind of like a nostalgic feeling, you know? I don't really use Tumblr anymore, but it was a really big part of my teenage years and my like coming into myself journey, and kind of expressing my sexuality and, you know, realizing stuff about myself like that. Yeah, I don't know. I always have that like Tumblr boy spirit in my heart, maybe. And I just think about like the images I would reblog, and they were always kind of like moody twilight shots of like a city or a small town or some forest, or like some aesthetic photo of like two boys kissing or something, you know? Yeah. So it's always like in my heart. Oh, and then this is the wrong photo actually. Yeah, this is not the photo I meant to grab. I meant to grab a different one where I was like sitting still. This is me here. I was getting ready. I was like doing my hair, and my boyfriend decided to take some pictures of me as I was doing that. Yeah, I meant to choose a different picture. where I was sitting still, but whatever, this one wanted to be known, I guess. So here I am looking like an apparition as I was doing my hair. And then, yeah, here's this shot. I really like this shot, actually. Again, it reminds me of Tumblr, the lighting, and it's kind of moody. I just love how my apartment looks, honestly. Like, I'm really proud of how I decorated my apartment, and I think it's very representative of me. So, yeah, I like this shot because I think my apartment looks really nice. So I'm proud of that. Okay, here, this is in Yokohama. So this was actually last month in February 2025. My boyfriend and I went to Yokohama, and there's a, not theme park, there's an amusement park called Yokohama Cosmo World, and it's actually pretty fun. It's not super big, but they do kind of have a lot, honestly. So yeah, we just went there and we wanted to like ride the rides and stuff, because we were both kind of having like a downer day, you know, like we were kind of feeling low energy and not super positive. So we decided to ride some thrill rides to like get our adrenaline up and like get our brains to like snap out of it. So this is at Yokohama Cosmo World. It's like right on the Yokohama Bay, and yeah, I don't know exactly what this is, but I just thought it was some interesting rusty architecture on the water. And then here's my boyfriend, and behind him is the carousel, and my boyfriend is taking pictures of something. I don't know, I don't have his pictures here with me. Here's another photo of my boyfriend taking a photo. And then here we were walking to the other side of Yokohama Cosmo World, because there's kind of like two parts, I guess. So one part is kind of like the main attraction area where they have the roller coasters and stuff like that. On the other side, they have some smaller stuff, just like rides. No roller coasters, but just like rides, you know, and then some like arcade games and stuff. So we were walking from the arcade game section to like the main section, and we crossed this, I guess, bridge, I don't know. And yeah, I just thought it was cool to see kind of out into the water over here. You can see the windmill, like the wind power energy thing. I was really happy that I captured this car like right in the center of the frame. Whenever I'm taking a photo in public and there are cars passing by, I always try to time it so that I get the car placed like exactly wherever I want it in the frame. So I was really happy that I actually got it this time. And then here in Yokohama Cosmo World, there's a huge Ferris wheel. It's called the Yokohama Clock, I think, or Cosmo World Clock or something. And it's like a giant Ferris wheel, and there are 60 like spokes on it, and then 60 cabins that you can ride in. So it's like a clock. And then in the center there is actually a digital clock. So my boyfriend and I rode the Ferris wheel, and this was the view from where I was sitting. You could see down onto this roller coaster here, the pink one, and then this yellow one here, and then this blue one as well. I remember it was a very windy day. It was getting more windy throughout the day, and we got on the we got on the carousel, and we could feel the wind kind of picking up, and we're like, oh my god. And when we got off the carousel, or off the Ferris wheel, sorry, when we got off the Ferris wheel, we wanted to go ride the roller coasters, but they were closed due to the weather. So we didn't end up riding any of them on this day, unfortunately. And then here's a shot of my boyfriend on the Ferris wheel. And then right here is the Yokohama Landmark Tower. Yeah, it's just a beautiful view. Here is the view of where my boyfriend and I were earlier, actually. So if you look here, like this little spot right here, that is actually like this spot, like this little corner that we were standing in, and this bridge that we were standing in, right here. So yeah, you can see exactly where we were standing. We rode both of these rides right here. So this orange one, you sit in a little car and then you start going around in a circle, and then as you're like going around, the ride starts going like more vertical, you know, like it's like it does like this kind of thing. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but yeah, it was really fun. That was the first thing we rode. And then we rode this one right here, which is like you're sitting in the little pod or whatever, and then it starts like spinning around, but as it's spinning you're also like swinging out and coming back in and out and back in, and that one was really fun too. And then over here, this is where they have like the arcade games and stuff like that. And then here is a view of the Yokohama landmark tower with the sunlight coming through the clouds. I like how, like, is it brutalist? I don't know. It just looks really severe. It reminds me of like the Hunger Games or like Divergent or something. And yeah, here's another view of that. Okay, next, my boyfriend and I went to Tokyo Disney Sea for his birthday, and it was so much fun. It was such a great day. So this was a photo I took at Tokyo Disney Sea, and here as well, you can see the gondolas passing through on the river, and it was just such a cute little spot. I really recommend Tokyo Disney Sea. Like, if you are deciding between Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, I definitely recommend Sea, because it's the only one in the world, and honestly, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. It's worth it, I think, to go just for the view and just for the experience of being there. It's such a beautiful place. Whereas like Disneyland, I mean, I've been to Disneyland in California. I don't know how much different Tokyo Disneyland could be. So I've never been to Tokyo Disneyland. I've just gone to Tokyo Disney Sea, and yeah, I really recommend it. It's so much fun and so beautiful, and I think it's like kind of romantic, honestly. It's just really nice. Even if it's crowded, it's really nice. Like, I like it. And then here's a photo of my boyfriend taking a photo of me, and you can kind of see like all of his charms here. They're connected to the bag that I made for him for his birthday. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. Here, just one of the faces peeking out. But yeah, and there's his Hongryudan charms. So this is kind of the central lake or pond or something. I don't really know. The entrance to the park is kind of like over here. Then this right here is the Tower of Terror, which of course we rode. And yeah, here's just another view of that. And then here is the big mountain at Tokyo Disney Sea. Oh my god, it's so cool. There's actually a ride inside the mountain. It's like I think it's the Journey to the Center of the Earth ride. It's like in the mountain. Of course, not a real mountain, but you know, it looks real. It looks so cool. And yeah, here it is against the sky. Like, the sky was so beautiful. It was around sunset. It's so beautiful. I love Tokyo Disney Sea. I've never been like a big theme park person really, but honestly, like, I kind of already want to go back to Tokyo Disney Sea. Like, is that crazy? It's so, oh my god, it's so nice. Like, I really would enjoy going back sometime soon, honestly. Like, before summer, because I definitely don't want to go in the summer, but yeah, sometime soon while it's still like a little chilly. I'm good with that. So, with this sunset here, we're coming to the sunset of my camera. This next set of photos is from her final day with us, so be prepared, okay? Here. So this was taken at a like cafe place. I think I would just call it a cafe. It's like a treehouse kind of cafe. I don't know. It's really cool. I've never seen something like this before. So basically, like, you can order your coffee and your food like on the ground, but then there's like a little tent that you can rent, and there are like tree houses. So like this one here, you can't eat in the tree houses. You have to eat like down on the ground, but you can go walking through the tree houses and stuff. And there's like a rope suspension bridge in between the two tree houses, and it's really cool. So yeah, this is one of the tree houses here. And here, my boyfriend and I went inside the tree house, one of the tree houses, and I just really liked this window. So as you're coming up the stairs into the tree house, on the back wall behind you, there's this window, and here's the tree trunk going through the tree house. And yeah, I just really like the light coming through and everything. And then here's my boyfriend posing. We had like an ANTM, a photo shoot challenge inside this treehouse. So these are just some of the photos I took of him on my camera. So yeah, there are lots of windows. It's really beautiful. And like they have these fairy lights hanging as well. So we went there during the day. It was like 2 p.m. and it was still really nice feeling, but I imagine like later in the day, of course around twilight or something, it's probably just really magical feeling. Yeah, here's another one of my boyfriend. So this is the little cart or whatever where you can order your food and your coffee. So I ordered an avocado burger and a cafe au lait. My boyfriend got, I don't remember what he got to eat, but I remember he got a Coca-Cola to drink. Yeah, so this is where you order, and then the restrooms are like over here somewhere. It's all like very cabin feeling. And over to the left side here, there's like a little place where you can order curry, I think. And then next to that, there's a campsite, like tent, that you can rent out by the hour. So I think if you wanted to eat inside there, you can maybe. But I didn't do that. And then here is the view from one of the tree houses. So you can see down here into the park. And this right here, this cement structure, is the monorail support track structure thing. And again, I got the car at the perfect moment, so I was really happy. And here's just another shot of the monorail tracks with this light bulb hanging down. Again, it felt very like Tumblr-esque to me. And with that, we're coming to the last image taken with this camera. Here. So this was the last image I took with this camera. Here's just another angle. So this was looking down onto the table where my boyfriend and I had eaten our food and we drank our coffee and our stuff. Here are our bags sitting on the chair. So here's my boyfriend's bag and my bag right here. And yeah, I just wanted that shot looking down at them. So yeah, this was the last shot I took with this camera. And how did the camera break, you may ask? Well, so my boyfriend and I went in the one tree house on the left side, and then we crossed the rope bridge to the right side. So this was on the right side. And my boyfriend went up the stairs into this tree house on the right side, and I was down here taking pictures. So after I took this picture, I was excited to go back up and meet my boyfriend. So I turned around and I tripped. So the wooden platform, there was kind of like a step down that I forgot was there. I had stepped down to get closer to the guardrail on this platform to look down and take a picture. And when I turned around, I forgot that I had to step back up. So I tripped, I fell, and the camera lens was open, and it smashed directly onto the platform. Just like that. So the lens was stuck, and it no longer will open, it won't move, nothing, it won't work. It's completely broken. I don't know if I could get it fixed because the camera is, how old? 21 years old? Yeah, the camera is 21 years old, so I don't know if I could get it fixed. And even if I could, it would probably be very expensive. So unfortunately, it is broken. So those were a few of my favorite photos that I've taken on this camera. It is quite sad, or disappointing, I don't know. I'm not like a professional photographer. I'm very much just like a hobby photographer, and I love a point and shoot camera, and this camera was like fast enough for me, and I could understand the features, and it also shot video, which is important for me because I like to shoot photos and video. So this camera really was like the perfect one for me. I just went to take a drink of water and I spilled water on myself, so don't mind the stain right here. Anyway, my boyfriend did give me another camera. This one here. So I keep it in this little Twin Stars pouch. This is another digital camera, and my boyfriend bought this one, but yeah, it's another like point and shoot. Hello. Wait, let's take a picture. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, it's another point and shoot camera, and it does take photo and video. Even though I have this one, I will never forget my Canon PowerShot A95. So let's just take a moment of silence together for this beautiful camera, okay? Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all you've done for me. But yeah, for now, we have to say goodbye. Okay. Thank you for honoring my camera with me today. Hope you enjoyed seeing these photos and hearing my stories about the pictures and my time with the camera. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching and for listening. Let's bid my camera a beautiful farewell and sashay away. And until next time.